Sorry. Oops, sorry everybody. Didn't set up the show. I forgot. It's been another crazy day. Let me get TikTok rolling while you're all rolling. Hey, okay. Sorry, I didn't set up the show today. I just realized I hadn't. Oops. Now I'm trying to get my iPad open. Come on, iPad. Making me put in my passcode just to be difficult. Anyway, yeah, so people, it's you and me so far, Kay. Hopefully others will figure it out. I literally just set it up. I forgot. All right. What is this? There we go. Hey, Richard. All right. Let me get my TikTok set up, and then we are ready to go. Ready to go. Hang on. Friday is always a good thing. All right. Hey, Noah. Hey, Flying Medic. All right. I think there we go. All right. TikTok is now going live too. I think we're pretty good now. All right. Actually, choom. Boom. All right. Excellent. All right. TikTok. Reverse mirror. Hello, Sasha. How are you? Hi. You can hang out here? Okay. My sister's dog is visiting for the weekend. I'm taking care of her. So if I can get a hold of her, I will show you. She is like this adorable little 2-pound ball of fur. Very cute. Layla, come here. I should be able to get. She's another one like Sasha who doesn't like getting picked up. Hold on. Layla, come. Come. Here you go. Come on. Oh, there you go. Oh, yes. This is Layla, all 2.5 pounds of her. I will show you the whole dog. I'm holding her feet. This is, oh, hello. There's a little Layla. Hello, thank you. Oh my God, thank you. Yes, I know. You're so cute. Yes. I know. She's adorable, but she was supposed to be bigger. She didn't end up being bigger. 2.5 pounds. But she's a Yorkie poo. Thank you. Yes, I know. Thank you. One more time. Oh, thank you. Yes. But yes, she's adorable. Not a new dog. No, this is my sister's dog, but she's traveling for the weekend, so I'm taking care of her. But she's very funny, Layla. Yes, she's very sweet, a little too needy, although Sasha's very needy too. Thank you, Crazy American and Alan, for the gifts. I tried to put her in the other room last night. Oh, I know, person walking across the street. Oh, what does that girl think she's doing? Oh my God. Yes, girl walking across the street, very evil. No, she's my sister's, but last night I had her in the other room because if she was in my room, she would try to get on the bed. She could fall off. Thank you, Hannah. And she whined like half the night. I was going to kill her. She finally got better, but I was like, oh my God. I mean, anyway, very funny. All right, you. I'm going to put you down. Boop. There we go. All right. Anyway, welcome everybody. So, yeah. So that was the dog. Hold on a second. Should I quit? Oh, hey. Oh, it's you. Well, that's okay. I thought the guys were in here. I was like, what's going on? All right. Yep. No, my nephew was not feeling well. He's in the other room opening a package. Anyway, thank you, Richard. Oh my God. So yes. So today we're going to have kind of a hangout show. I didn't have time to do all the research, although I did look at the news right before starting the show. There isn't a lot of news anyway. I love this shirt. I know this is my Star Trek rainbow shirt. I love this one from Amazon, but it's actually a nice shirt. It's actually one of the only shirts from Amazon I've got that's actually a good quality shirt. This is my Ukraine shirt. But so today I figure out, today we're going to hang kind of question and answer. This way I can sort of see all your guys' comments because it's the house was being painted today. We've now got the gardeners here because we're trying to, eventually sell my parents' house. And it just was yet another entire day of work. But I was also being stuck in my bedroom upstairs because they were painting the house. So a little crazy. Anyway, thank you, buddy, for the gift. Thank you, Martin. So Pickles Gigi. No, I don't know. What is that, Ryan? I don't know what that is. Yeah, just too much going on. Yeah, it's crazy. Putin threatened NATO again. Well, I did see, very funny, that two countries, is it Poland and Sweden? Who was it? Let me check here. Sweden and Finland will not stop Ukraine from striking Russia with its weapons after Putin's threats. Let me read this. This is from the Kyiv Independent. Helsinki and Stockholm declared today that they would not prohibit Ukraine from attacking Russia with their weapons amid Russian President Putin's recent threats. The day before, Putin said that Ukraine's use of Western long-range weapons against Russia would mean that NATO countries were directly involved in the full-scale war. According to Putin, allowing Ukraine to use such weapons would change the nature of the conflict, meaning that countries would be fighting against Russia. And the Swedes and the Finns turned around and basically said, F you to Putin, which is pretty freaking funny. That's funny. Yeah. So the Finnish foreign minister said the only restriction on Finnish weapons, during a joint press conference with her Swedish counterpart, said the only restriction for Ukraine is that Western weapons supplied by Finland be used in accordance with international law. Good. This is good. It looks like the Canadians are on board as well. Biden's being a jerk. Big surprise. No announcement from Biden on using U.S. ATACMS, U.S. long-range weapons to fire into Ukraine. Nope, no update. White House said today, no update. He's chicken. Putin scares him. And I really is. I mean, I like Biden in many ways, but he is terrified of Vladimir Putin, and it's not a way to run a foreign policy. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Kim. Even Putin's comment, honestly, I really do. Like, I get that Biden has a strong background in foreign policy and has to be mature about this. But think adventures. If I were Biden and Putin said, if you do this, it would mean you're at war with us, I would have said, dude, we're already at war with you. What are you talking about? Literally, American weapons have helped kill like 120 to 200,000 Russian troops, have helped injured another 400,000 Russian troops. Like, we're already at war. It's a cold war, or I don't even know what you'd call this, a tepid war, right? Because it is a proxy war in many ways. Mrs. Toad. And I feel like, thank you, Bryce. I feel like it's kind of just stupid at this point. Putin says stupid things. Like I said, like, oh, we will then be at war. We're already at war. I mean, we are. Our weapons are literally killing Russian troops. And we're giving our weapons to the Ukrainians to kill Russian troops. I mean, it doesn't get sort of more obvious than that, you know? Thank you, Tiger Pug. Thank you, Vicky. But, you know, yeah, so Biden's chickening out again. Big surprise. Yes, Putin is a reactive barking dog. That's exactly it, though. He just keeps making threats that don't matter. It's like, okay, you know, thank you, UA99. But what do you do, you know? So, yes, I saw that. There were a couple other stories. Oh, thank you, Eli. Or Ellie. The Russians have released half of the Irish. Sorry, I'm looking at my TikTok as we're talking here. Half of the Indian hostages. So remember how Russia, among other things, has been kidnapping people from developing countries and forcing them to fight for the Russian military. It's insane. The story is insane. I will tell you sort of more about it in a second, but the Russians, after the Indian prime minister, thank you, UA99, the Indian prime minister meets with Putin in July and says, let my citizens go. There's like 100 citizens. Layla, my sister's dog, is now trying to get my dog to play. And Sasha is literally walking. Sasha, come on up. There you go. Oh my God. Thank you, Sexy. Thank you, Jorge. Thank you, Elizabeth. Layla! She's trying to get Sasha to play, and Sasha is literally like looking at her, trying to walk around her. And finally she went, which was like, get the F away from me. I know. You're okay. Oh my God, she's so funny. She's trying to, hey, enough. Oh, she's literally looking at Sasha the whole time. She's trying to get Sasha to play with her. And Sasha's like, Layla's like a couple years old. Sasha's like 14 and a half. And she's kind of like, okay, I am not. Although I wish Sasha would play with her. In any case, so thank you, Chazek. So back to the news here. So the Russians have been kidnapping men from developing countries and forcing them to fight in their military on the front lines in Ukraine. And these guys have been getting killed. Thank you, Hedge. The Russians, what they've been doing to sort of kidnap these guys and trick them is they lure them to Russia, either on tourist visas, which they've done to a bunch of the Indians, or on work visas as well, which they did to a bunch of the Nepalese. And they get them there, and they typically try to get some trumped up charge or something that they arrest them. And then they tell them, well, you can spend 10 years in a Russian prison camp. Mind you, they did absolutely nothing, right? You'll spend 10 years in a Russian prison camp, or you can fight on the front lines in Ukraine. And these guys are like, well, what choice do we have? We don't want to be in a Russian prison camp, right? Or a work camp. So they go to the front lines of Ukraine, they get killed. One guy, this Mustafa, I think it was Afson or something was his last name. His family was saying he went to Russia on a work trip last November, and they kidnapped him. They sent him to Ukraine, and now he's dead. He got killed fighting in Ukraine. He went there for work, and they freaking kidnapped him. What's even weirder about this is, Layla, what's even weirder about this is the Indian prime minister has to go to Russia to tell him, let my freaking people go. Putin waits 2 months, and he lets half of them go. He let 45 go today. There's another 50 that are still stuck there. Another 50 that are still stuck there. I mean, and again, Think You Succeed. I always tell you guys that, you know, the people, like the MAGA people who want to defend Russia, or the far left, but it's usually the MAGA people. The far left, it's a small group. The MAGA people, all of them, they defend Russia, like Russia's this wonderful country we should emulate. Thank you, Beaches. What country kidnaps foreigners and forces them to fight in their military? Like, who does that? No democracy does that. We don't do that. I mean, like, who does that? Right? It boggles my mind. I mean, it's such a sick thing to do. It boggles my mind. In any case, but yes, I did. I heard there was, was there somebody new American couple that moved to Russia? We remember there was the folks that moved there last year. Thank you, Tiger Pug, when they were like the religious conservatives that moved there with their kids. And were they Canadians? Were they Canadians or Americans? Remember the folks that went there last year? Thank you, Dawn. And then within a month, they published some social media post saying like, oh my God, we made a huge mistake. And then took it down and did a camera thing on camera saying, everything's fine. We love it here. It was like, okay, whatever. Oh, now they're in Texas? Oh, so they did leave. Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Okay, very interesting. Yes, we have the great Star Trek shirt. But I thought I saw the other day another American couple, a man and a woman, who moved to Russia, but I wasn't quite sure if it was the same Canadians or what it was. I mean, you know, good luck to them. I mean, hold on, I'm gonna put on a fan because now I'm smelling. Actually, I'm gonna open that door. Now I'm smelling the paint. And with my asthma, that's the last thing I need is to be smelling paint. Thank you, Francis. Happy Friday to you. Well, the fan's still going. Okay, another 4 hours. All right. Well, all right. Fan's still going. Hopefully, the problem is it's too hot out. Otherwise, I'd put on the fan for the 82 degrees. It's not going to be decent until like 9 p.m. for it to turn on the fan. Too bad. Ugh. So I get to be in this house with all the paint fumes. Lovely. What do you do? Anyway, do I think Biden will ever change his stance on Ukraine? No. I mean, he's only got a few months till he's gone anyway. But no, he's afraid of angering Putin, and he didn't want Ukraine to win the war, and he got what he wanted. You know, it's a tie right now. Thank you, Succeed. I mean, the painting is done today, so you know, there's really not much for us to do at this point. Hello, are you coming? Do you want me to pick you up again? You want to say hi again? Okay, we'll say hi again. This time she came up and kind of jumped up like she wanted me to pick her up. It's funny. The first time she didn't like it. This is my sister's dog. Very cute little dog. Put the exhaust fan on for a little. Yeah, I can. I mean, we've got like a ceiling fan upstairs, like for the whole house. That's nice, but I don't want to be sucking. She's looking at the guys that are here to clean the yard. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay, I know. She's I mean, guys, this is her whole size. She's 2.5 pounds. 2.5 pounds is actually a kilo. Yeah, a little more than a kilo. She's hilarious, but this little, she keeps seeing him. She keeps seeing the gardener out. We've hired some guys to like clean up the yard. It's very funny. All right. Oh, wait, eat the dog. That's right. We eat the dogs. Oh, now okay. Stop. 3 people and 3 dogs, which is like a triple whammy. Thank you, Pedro. Thank you, Jonathan. Okay, that's not good. Thank you. All right. Okay. All right. You have a 1-pound kitten? Too cute. Oh my God. She's such a little, I know I may do a little albuterol just to be safe. I probably should. I had to do it last night too. Normally I don't have to, but it's been painting for like 3 days. So yes. Yes. All right. You. Okay. Anyway, your cat's bigger. Everybody's cat is bigger than this dog. This dog's 2.5 pounds. Thank you, Succeed. Do I think the Ukrainians can win some? I think, look, thank you, Succeed. Lots of gifts from Succeed today. The Ukrainians, I think, can get more of their land back. I do not think they can kick the Russians out. They would need so much support from us at this point, and they're not going to get it. Also, the Russians have had too much of a chance to dig in. I just think and again, I don't blame the Ukrainians. I blame Biden, the French, and the Germans. They never wanted Ukraine to win. They were afraid if Ukraine wins, Russia will get angry and they've got nukes and oh my God, and this kind of crap. So they gave Ukraine just enough weapons to stop Russia from taking over all of Ukraine. So Russia occupies 18% of Ukraine, but not 100%. But they didn't want to give Ukraine enough weapons to actually beat the Russians, because then it would be embarrassing for the Russians. And oh my God. So yeah, I think they're stuck now. I mean, I think it's pretty much a tie now. And I think it's what Biden wanted. He wanted a tie, which is stupid too, because all that's going to happen, some weird peace treaty will be reached. Russia's going to get part of Ukraine and they're going to invade again. They're just going to invade again in 5 years. They're going to build up their troops and they're going to try to take the rest of Ukraine. We're going to be in yet another war. I mean, it's the same freaking war is going to start all over again because Russia's going to invade again. You know, it's just absolutely ridiculous. Ugh. Very annoying to me. Anyway. Her ears. Yeah, I know. She's got her super big ears. She's a Yorkie poo. I am going to do a little bit of my inhaler today. This should be hopefully the last time I do my inhaler on the show. My inhaler on the show. Thank you, Lamb Chop. Yesterday I had to do it too because of the paint, but you're supposed to count to 10 with these things. All right, better here. All right. Anyway, yes, it's very, I know, hyper, John. Exactly. The inhaler always makes me a little hyper. Thank you, NJ Patman. Anyway, so yeah, so what else, guys? Like I said, I did not go through the news today. I was a little too busy, but let me see. What else did I have here? Right, the Indians that were tricked, the Swedes, the Russians are buying Western aircraft parts via intermediaries despite sanctions. The Chinese helped the Russians build a new drone last year. I read that was in the news today too. You know, gotta love the Chinese pretending. Like China just amazes me with stuff because China likes to pretend. China likes to pretend they're this whole like, oh, we're just a nice developing country. We're not like big bad America, or big bad Russia even trying to take over the world. We're just nice China. We're just a developing country. China is like the biggest hegemonic dictatorship on the planet. I mean, China is a dictatorship. It is a communist dictatorship. It is a brutal communist dictatorship. And their goal is literally world domination. They're doing it in Africa. They're doing it in Asia. It just kind of boggles my mind. And they are taking sides in Ukraine. They are deciding to help the Russians basically beat the Ukrainians. Thank you, Francis. And everybody knows it, But hang on, another quick thing. There we go. Okay. Whew, that's enough. I don't know. Luke asked an interesting question. Totally unrelated, but it's an interesting question since we're talking elections. Luke says, did Kamala confirm that COVID was leaked from a lab? She said something. She said something during the debate. And initially I thought that's what she was saying. But then she went on and basically said that the Chinese, which is true, were not giving us full access to their information about COVID in their countries and also what their labs were doing. But I think she may have mentioned I remember she said something that made me think originally, did she just say COVID like the Chinese created COVID? Like it almost did sound like that. But then she started talking about the fact that they weren't transparent, which is true. And they weren't. They were terrible about just giving us any information about what was going on. So I don't know. She might have let something slip a little, or she may not have. Yeah, I know. Kim, I'm at least sipping some water because I can't really, run to the bathroom and brush the teeth right now. But yeah. Oh, I did see that too. Rob Wall just noted Springfield, Ohio elementary schools were targeted today with bomb threats, closing the schools after Trump suggested that the town was full of illegal Haitian immigrants who were eating cats and dogs. The New York Times actually did a big article. I'm going to see if I can pull this up. I had a summary of the article. New York Times did a big article about this Springfield, Ohio. The Haitians there are legal. They're not illegal. The town was dying, literally. The Haitians came and literally revitalized the entire city. They brought money, right? They brought job or workers. They revitalized the city. And Trump, being the racist pig he is, claimed that the Haitians were illegal. Mind you, Haiti was one of those shithole countries that Trump, when he used that phrase, he was talking about Haiti specifically and a couple other countries. He hates them. And again, they're black. So he wanted to suggest they're black and black people eat cats and dogs in Trump's mind because he's crazy. He's not crazy. He's a racist. He's not crazy. But let me read. I grabbed a little clip here of something else talking about here we go. This was from Frank Luntz, who's a Republican. Actually, Frank Luntz is interesting. He's a Republican pollster. And said for decades, Springfield, Ohio had been another shrinking Midwestern town with an uncertain future. Shrinking because the population was just shrinking. A small town, people were leaving, going elsewhere, right? By most accounts, the Haitians have helped revitalize Springfield. They are assembling car engines at Honda, running vegetable packing machines at Dole, and loading boxes at distribution centers. They are paying taxes on their wages and spending money at Walmart. And it's a whole New York Times article about it. And Trump has been demonizing them because they're black. And they've now been getting bomb threats. The city got bomb threats itself first. And then don't do it, dog. I'm looking at the dog. I've got her little mat she pees on, and I'm just afraid she keeps getting it a little wrong. And I'm like, don't get it wrong. Hi, don't get it wrong. But yeah, they got bomb threats at the city hall before. And now they're sorry, she was being needy. Bomb threats at the city hall, and now the schools are getting bomb threats as well. They had to shut down the schools. And Trump did this. I mean, this is the crap he has done before. He is a violent man. He is a fascist. Again, he tried to violently overthrow the government. He suggested that Hillary Clinton should be shot. I mean, the violence that has come out of that man's mouth repeatedly. And again, he acted on it. Right? I mean, he literally tried to violently overthrow the government, right? And now he's inspired some of the terrorists we've had. Some of the domestic terrorism was literally things that Trump and also Fox News talked about. The caravans coming from Central America with illegals and this kind of crap, right? It's really just amazing. Just amazing. He's a pig. He's an absolute pig. But yes, so Trump is getting school children threatened with bombs in Ohio now because Trump decided to launch a racist attack against black people from Haiti. Just amazing. Don't bark. Don't do it. I know. I saw her too. Some blonde lady decided to walk by the house, and suburban blonde ladies, very dangerous. Very dangerous. All right. What else? Oh, did she though? And he is saying, Kamala said, we don't know where COVID came from. It could have been a lab or not. Okay. Honestly, I think that's true. I think COVID could have come from a Chinese lab, honestly. This is my sister's dog, but she's being a little needy, so I'm picking her up. Asked today why Laura Loomer traveled to 9/11 ceremonies when she is a 9/11 denier. Yep. Trump responded, oh, yeah. So Trump is in increasing trouble because he's been it's kind of creepy. Melania Trump is nowhere to be seen. She didn't go to the debate. She doesn't go to any of Trump's events. I mean, she's nowhere to be seen. Instead, Trump has been palling around with a buxom young woman named Laura Loomer. He hugs her. He kisses her. She travels on his private plane. I mean, they're always touching each other. It's very sweet. If Kamala Harris were doing this, if Kamala Harris left her husband at home and was flying around the country to all of her events with some, young virile guy and kissing him and hugging him and touching him, it would be all the talk, wouldn't it? Right? And let's face it, Trump has a history here. I mean, right? We know Trump is a philanderer, right? I mean, we know this. He literally slept with a porn star right after his wife gave birth to Barron. So anyway, so Trump has been palling around with this woman, Laura Loomer, who is a far-right conspiracy theorist. He invited her to the 9/11 ceremonies, the September 11th commemoration this week. It was the anniversary of the attacks. Thank you, Anne, for the gift. And you see her getting off the plane. You see her standing in the background at the memorial in New York City. Just a year ago, Laura Loomer claimed that 9/11 was an inside job, that it was, the government did it. It was the U.S. government that did the attack. She's crazy. She's a racist. She posted this racist comment about Kamala Harris, suggesting that the White House was going to smell like curry. Because here's the funny part. Ironically, Laura Loomer seems to be more upset that Kamala Harris is half Indian than half black, which is kind of funny because usually, the MAGA people hate blacks. I mean, the Republicans don't like blacks. I mean, they've got a few token blacks they like, but they hate blacks. Indians, they're kind of divided on, right? Because you see a number of Republicans like Nikki Haley who are Indian American, right? Or J.D. Vance's wife is Indian American. So they kind of find themselves, Vivek, right? I believe he's Indian. They find themselves in a weird position with the Indians. They don't like dark people, but but in Kamala Harris's case, Laura Loomer said, the White House is going to smell like curry, and they're going to use an Indian call center if you ever try to call Kamala now. It was just this weird racist shit from her. Well, Trump has been palling around. She's a conspiracy nut. I always tell you guys, Google her, Laura Loomer, Loomer. She's not MAGA. Her problem isn't that she's MAGA. Her problem isn't that she supports Trump. Her problem is she's a far-right conspiracy nut. If you Google her, you'll see what I mean. I don't know. Is she resting, or I think she is kind of conking out a little bit. It's cute. Yeah, Vance's wife is Indian. Yep. Yeah, or Indian American, but yeah. Yep. So yeah, this woman's an absolute lunatic. Trump got asked about it today, and he goes, she supports me. I don't know. I don't know about her views. Her views or whatever. She's a very strong, outspoken woman, and she supports me. She's MAGA. She helps me. I don't know her views. I don't care what her views. It was very interesting. It was very interesting. He went on for a minute, just mumbling, not quite sure what to say. I could try to play it, but I think last time I tried this, it didn't quite work with the because I did grab a couple of videos today. Let me see. We can try again. But last time I did this, remember with YouTube, the videos didn't quite work. Let's try it and see. TikTok, it'll work. YouTube, it may not though. Oh, well, here's okay, wait, first, doesn't really matter if you can hear it. So this is her. This is them. Look at this. I mean, the guy's married, guys. He's married and he's hanging out with this chick and kissing her and stuff. And mind you, they've been everywhere together. It's really freaking weird. Oops, hang on. I thought I grabbed several. Oh no, I didn't. Shoot, I was convinced that I grabbed several videos today. Oh, you know what I did? I grabbed them on my iPad. All right, they're on my iPad. Oh well. All right. Shoot. Well, can't do it, guys. You guys, I've got my iPad already working there with you all. So, oh well. That's too bad. I was going to play you some of the crazy stuff here. Yeah. Oh well. That's all right. That's all right. It's totally creepy. Touching her waist is creepy. Kissing her is creepy. Her flying on the plane is creepy. She's a young woman with way too much face stuff going on, and his wife is nowhere to be seen. My God. You guys are racist. You insulted half the country. Half the country is supporting a fascist pig who tried to violently overthrow the government, who hates their troops. What do you think that makes you? Okay? He hates the troops. He called them suckers and losers for getting killed in action and prisoners of war. Okay? He tried to violently overthrow the government. He doesn't believe in the Constitution. He supports America's enemies in North Korea, in Russia. He hates America's allies. What do you think that makes you? He's a racist pig, and you support him. What does that make you? Now I love when Republicans love to. It's a Fox News thing. They love to do that. Oh, Hillary Clinton suggested that Trump's supporters are deplorable. You are, of course, you're deplorable. Are you kidding me? You're supporting a racist pig who tried to violently overthrow the government. Of course, you're deplorable. But Republicans love to do that. They love when they get caught. They love to go, I'm so shocked that you suggested he's racist because that makes me racist if I'm supporting him. Well, maybe you should think about that. Because I got to tell you, if you're not racist, you'd be pretty creeped out supporting a guy who is racist. You know, if you love the troops, you'd be pretty freaked out supporting a guy who hates the troops. If you love our country, you'd be pretty freaked out supporting a guy who loves Russia and North Korea more and who doesn't believe in our Constitution and doesn't believe in our allies. You know, I think she's totally conking out. But yes. What else, guys? What else? But she is funny. She's totally. Oh, she just perked again. All right. Those ears. She does have great ears. You have great ears. You do have great ears. Yeah. No thing. Okay. Little lick. Okay. Thank you. Little lick. Okay. Anyway. What else? She was napping. Then she kind of perked up again. Anyway, I know Layla will. No, she's my sister's dog. But she's adorable though today. U.S. decision on Ukraine today. Nope. Violent. Biden's White House today said no decision on long-range weapons for Ukraine. Thank you, Luis, for the meerkat. That's the gardener. He's allowed. Yep, he's allowed. He's cutting our grass, picking up lots of weeds. We like that. He's allowed. She is a Yorkie poo. But she wasn't supposed to be this tiny. She ended up being a toy, 2.5 pounds. She was supposed to be like 4.5 pounds, which is healthier. I mean, she isn't unhealthy, but when they're this small, they can have problems and stuff. Yeah, Sasha doesn't love it, but she's been pretty good. Like Sasha's on the chair next to me and she's dealing with it pretty well, which is surprising. Singe dog? What's a singe dog? Marion. Auction the dog. Yes. How much for the dog? How much for the dog? Would you like to? Yes. Would you like to cook my dog? Harris. I mean, former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine said the other day. I didn't report it because he was just kind of conjecturing. But the former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine said the other day that he thinks Kamala Harris will be tougher on Russia than Biden is. Oh, you want to go down? Go down here. Up. My nephew's coming in anyway, so this way she can say hi to him. But he thinks Biden will be, or that Harris will be tougher than Biden. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, Biden has got this weird. Biden's got this weird. I also think, frankly, I don't even know if it's a generational thing, but he feels like we've got to be nice. Everyone's got to get along. And therefore he doesn't want to piss off the Russians because we got to work with them afterwards. Anyway. Oh, you got milk. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Yeah. I mean, I could have had cream, but although I've got it, once you're feeling better, we've got to get food though. Yeah, I'm so tired of eating pizza. So we're talking to my nephew. The house is full of frozen pizza. And like, after a while you're like, pizza. I like pizza, but oh my God, no more pizza. I had pizza again today. I'm like, I can't handle any more pizza. Actually, there is some, I shouldn't say this. There's some tortellini downstairs. I can make those. We've got some nice Stilton cheese, a little Parmesan. I can make a little cream sauce for the tortellini. That's not a bad idea. Any new polls? I didn't check the polls today, Marianne. Today was unfortunately a busy day dealing with the painters and the yard guys. We hired painters to help spruce up Mom's house and yard guys to do the same. And literally, like, my entire day was all of this. Honestly, for the tortellini, maybe, but it's all I've got. Like, I'm so tired of eating all this, like, just pizza, Thank you, Maddie. That was very sweet of you. Anyway, yes. So, but oh my God, this is like, this paint though is like nasty. I mean, it's pretty good, but it's still, well, I don't even, fruits and vegetables. I need fruits and vegetables too. Correct. But my nephew came home. He's not feeling well, so that's going to delay going to the store. He needed to get some medicine, so he picked up the milk at least. Thank God, because I was running out of milk. Or I ran out of milk. Thank you, Randy and Fred. Is the weather hot there? It's 84. It's mid 80s. It's actually quite pretty. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to translate this. It hasn't been translating. Oh, okay. I translated it and I still don't know what you meant there. Anyway, Anyway, yep, ceiling looks good. Ceiling's been painted. It's freshly painted. I was just showing the ceiling is looking good. So yes, it's been freshly painted, so that's nice. Paneling is still here, but there's only so much. That's true. DoorDash. I forgot about that. That's true. I could get DoorDash. You're right. I don't know what Jornik is. Yeah, but that is true. I can look and see. Oh, now Sasha's licking me. Really, you're doing this now too? Is this because the other one did this? Sasha walked up and is licking my leg, which she never does. Russian media monitor. Yes, that I think is what's her name, who we love, right? What's her name? Help me, guys. She does all the translations. She's originally Ukrainian, and does all the translations of Russian media and gets like all the good stuff, like all the crazy stuff they say. I'm totally spacing out about her name now. She's American, but I mean like Ukrainian origin. The Russians hate her because she's really good. No, not Yulia. This is a woman, Davis. Exactly. What's her first name? She's got almost like an American. It's an American name. Davis, but I'm forgetting her. It's not Julie Davis. I don't think so. It's not Julie. That's not her first name. But she's the woman who does Russian media monitor. Julie, is it Julia? I didn't. Okay, maybe it is Julia. Okay, I didn't remember that. Oh, it is. It's not Angela. No, that would be the that would be taking you back to the 60s. Thank you, Joe. But yeah, she's really good. She's really good. I mean, again, has to like go through all this stuff and translate it and everything. It's really, she does God's work. Julia Davis. Maybe that's it. Yeah. Did you just Google? Is that what it is, Shade? Yep. Okay. Yeah, she's great though. Different than Yulia, who we love as well. What else? Oh man. Julia Davis. Yep, that's it. Of a huge attack tonight by Putin? No, I mean he might. Thank you, Flower, for the gift. Putin's gonna. The thing is, Putin, like, he likes to save up his weapons and then do big attacks occasionally, just to kind of be like, "Oh, I warned you," and it's like, whatever. I mean, again, Putin's doing everything he can already. It's not like there's much more he can do to Ukraine, Yeah, I haven't done a live with Julia in a while, but we'll do another one, sure. Yeah, I like having her on. It's just that I've been in Chicago, so things have been kind of crazy the last month, but otherwise, happy to have her on again. We like her insights. Oh, Robert, there was no confirmation yet, at least by the time I went live, of Biden letting Ukraine use American ATACMS to strike deep inside Ukraine. I can look again right now. The White House said today there was no decision, which was a little weird because I thought for sure they would decide today. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, Kremlin warns of escalation if U.S. allows Kyiv to hit Russia with long-range missiles. Oh, whatever. Go F yourself. Yeah, no. Telegraph, Biden resists calls to let Ukraine fire U.S. missiles. No, Biden's like considering it. So it's ridiculous. And discussed it with the Brits today. Might have been discussing it with the Germans too, so who knows. Thank you, IHOP. Thank you, Jetta. Hungarian reality. What is that? I don't know what that is. No. Thank you, Timothy. Thank you, Shebug, for the gifts. Joe as well. Yeah, I mean, and again, Ukraine's getting them from Iran. Ukraine's getting the weapons from North Korea. But, when not Ukraine, I'm sorry, Russia is getting them from Iran and North Korea. But when the Ukrainians want to get weapons, it's escalating. Give me a break. It's just they're whiners. It is Ronald Reagan was right. It's an evil empire. It is an evil empire. It's still an evil empire. And honestly, we should call them that. And I don't think Kamala Harris will. Biden certainly wouldn't. What's going to happen with Kamala Harris though is Russia's going to do something. Putin's going to do something obnoxious. He will not be able to help himself, but do something obnoxious to her. If they meet, if they talk something, and she's going to learn, which if she hasn't already, but she's going to learn very quickly that the man's a POS. But no, I think the only thing the Russians understand is standing up to them and saying, "Go away. We're not afraid of you." He'll test her, definitely. Yep, Darlene. Yep. What do you mean, Tony? I'm not sure what you mean. In the extremely unlikely event Russia uses nukes, what do you think is the best case? I'm not sure. What do you mean by best case? Thank you, Shebug, for the gift. Yeah, he'll bring his dogs into the room. Exactly. Oh, excuse me. Oh, and thank you, Shebug, for the gift as well. But yeah, I wasn't sure what you meant. What you mean by best case? I don't think. Look, Putin is not using nukes against us because he'd die. We would destroy him. Literally, we would destroy Russia. He's not going to do that. Thank you, Randy. What he could do is use nukes in Ukraine. But thank you, Marge. Thank you, Randy. He's only going to use nukes in Ukraine if we suggest something, if we somehow suggest to him that he can get away with it, right? We need to make clear, and hopefully we have, to Putin that if he uses nukes in Ukraine, we will enter the war. He thinks we've entered the war now. He's seen nothing, right? Thank you, Iggy Woman. Thank you, Running. U.S. generals, former U.S. generals, retired U.S. generals have said, for example, if Putin were to use nukes, we should literally bomb the Russian fleet or bomb all the Russian troops in Ukraine. I mean, like, we have to enter the war if he uses nukes in Ukraine. Hopefully the U.S. has made that clear to Putin, because if we've not made that clear, Putin will at some point think, is it worth it? The problem, I think, for Putin is we don't really have a choice but to enter the war if he uses nukes. We cannot let the precedent stand. Again, in today's era, that using nukes proactively is okay, right? World War II, long time ago, totally justified in my view, but it was also a long time ago. We're in a different era today. It's almost 100 years now, 80 years. And we cannot afford Putin sending the message to the world that you can use nuclear weapons and no one's going to do anything about it. Oh, they'll sanction you, right? But no one's going to do anything about it. You need to be destroyed if you use nukes today, because India's got nukes. Pakistan's got nukes. Iran is about to get nukes. Israel's got nukes. North Korea's got nukes. And North Korea especially, crazy. North Korea is nuts, right? I mean, all these countries need to know you better not use nukes proactively, right? You better not use nukes. It's one thing to use nukes if your survival is threatened, right? Every country has the right to do that. It would be a mess, but they have the right to do that. You don't use nukes because you're pissed off that you're not winning the war that you started. No, that doesn't work. Thank you, Martin. So yeah, China, exactly. China too. I didn't mention China. Thank you, Super Hornet. Same thing, right? Because if Putin uses nukes in Ukraine, how we respond will tell China how we'll respond if they were to use nukes in Taiwan, for example. So no, it is. I don't think we have a choice but to basically declare war on Russia if they use nukes. So maybe not declare war. I don't know. We are declaring war if we attack their fleet. I mean, right? We don't really have a choice. I don't think we'd use a nuke back. No, we'd use conventional, but we would have to tell them we would literally be at war with you. We will attack your troops if you use nukes. Because also they're right on the border with NATO, right? It's a really dangerous thing. Well, is NATO ready to destroy their fleets, Matt? Depends what you mean by is NATO ready, right? Is NATO able to destroy their fleet? Probably, I would think. Is NATO willing to destroy the Russian fleet? Depends who you ask, right? The Poles are, the Scandinavians, a lot of them probably are, right? Britain, yes, I'd say if Russia were to use nukes. Germany, France, and America? Italy? Maybe. But Germany, France, and America? Right? Right? Wilson, I don't agree. Wilson says if Israel has nukes, and Israel does, by the way, at least 100, and hasn't used them in their defense, doesn't that kind of say that nukes are out of the question, even if survival is in question? Israel's survival is not in question, right? I mean, again, what Hamas did was horrific. It was 9/11, but it wasn't a survival moment. It wasn't, for example, Iran nukes Israel, then Israel is going to nuke Iran back, and they'll be justified, and it'll be a mess. The problem with nukes, if you're a sane country, is there aren't a lot of instances you can use them, right? You can use them if you're attacked first, or you can use them if your survival is dependent. I mean, someone's, the Russians are in danger of taking New York or something. I don't know, right? Which is unlikely. But otherwise, I think it's very difficult to use them. But I don't think Israel's been threatened enough that it needed to use nukes at this point, So I would say no. But having said that, again, as much as people criticize Israel, Israel is a sane country, so they're not using their nukes, right? But also, they're not stupid. I mean, they know if they use nukes on Gaza, they would literally be nuking 100,000 civilians, and they'd be toast if they did that even with the U.S. So they're not stupid, Thank you, Kanji person. Didn't France toy around with sending troops to Ukraine this year? Yes, kind of. What happened was this. Remember, this is the thing. This is the article that got me banned on TikTok for a week. Remember this? Thank you, Aviation. I was translating an article from Le Monde, which is the top French paper. I'd argue the top French paper, also one of the top papers in the world, Le Monde. And I was translating an article talking about President Macron in France and why he shifted from being somewhat dovish on Russia to becoming very hawkish. Dovish meaning he kept wanting to reach out to Putin and let's talk, let's negotiate. Layla, Sasha, come on up. I know, come on up. Okay. My sister's dog is yet again trying to get my dog to play with her, and she's circling her and barking at her. And my dog is just like barking back base, but I know my dog. My dog's barking back and going STFU. And her dog's going, yay, you're barking back. And it's like, no. So I got her to jump up. Here, you guys, I guess I can show you this. I got her to jump up here now. Hello. Because like that's a bad, yeah. Oh, you guys can see Sasha here. You guys can, hi Layla. Oh, you want to come up again now? Didn't want to come up before. Now she keeps jumping on my leg because she's trying to come up. Oh my God. You want to come up again? Well, don't go running away from me. All right. I know. She's kind of a little bit of a bitch, Sasha. I know. Hello. You want to come up again? All right. Well, she keeps trying to get me to pick her up, the little one. And every time I go, she runs away. And now you're pawing at me again. Well, pick a team, dog. Either come up or don't come up. Oh my God. I think she's just trying to get me to like, she's trying to get me to like do this with my hands, like, rah, 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 rah. Okay, rah, rah, rah. We're going back and forth from discussing nuclear weapons to adorable dog play. All right. Can I pick you up again? Oppa, oppa. There we go. Okay, you're back. She's back. All right. I forgot. Oh, France. So yes. So Le Monde did an article talking about how President Macron in France started the war by, remember, his shuttle diplomacy, talking to Putin, and I think I can convince Putin not to do this. And then earlier this year became like the biggest hawk on Russia, and talked about sending French troops to Ukraine. Basically, the talk was about doing it. The talk wasn't about doing it anytime soon. I believe they were already in discussions about it. Macron did put a little bit of a contingency on it. He talked about, for example, if the Russians were in danger, or if the Ukrainians were in danger of losing Odessa in the south to the Russians, or the Russians were making a run at Kyiv in the north, because earlier this year there was still concern about were the Russians going to maybe invade again from the north and this kind of stuff. And the French said if they were to do that, France would send troops. So and then the Germans freaked out, America freaked out. I think even the Brits got a little saucy, which was unfortunate, probably because the Americans freaked out. But yeah, so nothing yet, but I think it was helpful because the point was, well, it was helpful what France said. It wasn't helpful that the rest of NATO went, oh my God, no, because Putin needs to know there's a price if he's going to try to grab more of Ukraine, So yes. Oh, yes, the two dogs. Well, it's funny because Sasha just doesn't like to be harassed. And this one just wants to play with her. And my dog's just like, no. And then every time, like I said, my dog also does not appreciate dogs who bark at her to play. And this one loves to bark at her to play. Canada does not have nukes. Nope. Good question. Did Canada not want nukes? Like, what's the deal there? Canadians among us? Is it sort of a very not Canadian thing, or why did Canada never try to get nukes? Keir Starmer, I don't know enough about him, really. Oh, sorry, there you go. I'll turn this a little, there you go. Now you can see the dog more. Up. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. This is probably the, let me see. This is probably the yard guy not realizing I'm on with you guys. 1 second. Okay. Oh, hey, yes. Oh, you know what? I can't right now. I'm on live on the internet for a show. I'm working right now. I mean, you're coming tomorrow too, right? Yeah. In the end, anyway, my sister's the one that's gonna have to check because she kind of knows everything she wants. She's not that fun. Okay, yeah, 1 second. All right. Stay here, you. Oh shit, Sasha, watch out. Of course he wants, which I don't blame him. Okay, give me a second, guys. I've got to write a check for the yard guy. This has been my life here. All right. All right, give me a second, folks. Ay. All right, sorry. I've got this is the stuff, well, because we're dealing with mom's estate, and this is like the stuff I'm having to do nonstop. All right, hang on here. All right. All right, hold on. What is today's date? Sorry, guys. My life is a jumble. Yeah, he didn't which makes sense, of course, that he wants half the money up front, but I wasn't thinking. Hang on here. As the table. Boom. Okay. Half. All right. Sorry, guys. You know how this is. All right. Oops. Yeah. Okay. 1 second. Oop. All right, you guys. Stop. All right. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. That's cute. He goes, see you tomorrow around 8. And I said, no, I'll be sleeping, but you feel free to start working at 8 if you like. Layla, stop. Now she's trying to get Sasha to play again, of course. Sasha, no. Here, come on. Sasha, up. Thank you. All right. Jeez, these two again. Oh my God. Yard work. No, yard guy is literally yard guy. We're trying to eventually sell mom's house and trying to, paint and everything else. So this is the yard work portion of prettying the house. So, oh my God. I am not moving to Chicago, but I am sort of here for a while. So anyway, all right, sorry about that, guys. Oof. I know it's a little bit of a crazy stream today. I love Star Trek. Yes, Matt, absolutely love it, Francisco. A summary. I don't have much of a summary today, Randy, Fred, and Hazel, because I was so busy with yard guy and painting guy, and then stuck in the room upstairs for half to 3/4 of the day. I wanted this. I did a little bit of research before the show started, but this was meant to be more of a hangout chat. So I don't have a summary of news because I didn't actually go through a lot of news. Because unfortunately, like I said, today was a little crazy. Oh, tomorrow we've got our show though. Don't forget that. We've got our show for the paid members and paid subscribers. TikTok, everybody with SNN next to your name. YouTube, you guys with green names. Tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Chicago time, 11:30 a.m. Washington, D.C. time, Eastern time. Oh, you're from Sweden. Oh, that's cool. Nice to, oh, with Francisco, I'm thinking Francisco, Nice to see you. Oh, hey, Joey. Thank you. Hope you're well as well. Did you see History this morning? Space is awesome. Oh, you mean the spacewalk? With what? SpaceX's spacewalk or which? Anyway, yeah, so we'll be here tomorrow morning for all the paid subscribers. So thanks for joining us. What else? Oh, here we go. Canada pioneered the Geneva Conventions. I think they had a lot to do with them turning away from nukes. I mean, Canada is not America. So, Canada is generally considered to be the first nation to have voluntarily given up its nuclear weapons. Systems were deactivated in 1968. Wait, Canada had nukes? Get out of here. Get out of here. That's interesting. Huh. I did not know that. That's wild. Huh. I never had heard that. Canada is nice people, yes. I mean, they got their crazies too, but nothing like our crazies. And it's true. Canada is certainly covered by the American nuclear umbrella, clearly, right? So, even though we don't talk about it, we clearly have a special relationship with Canada. We talk about the British special relationship, but, Americans, we don't think of Canada much, but I mean, because we don't. We just, it's America, you Canadians know it's an American thing. But at the same time, we like Canadians. And if anything, although it benefits Canada in some ways, we think of Canadians as kind of like Americans. And I mean, you're not, but we think of you that way. And I think it benefits Canada, I think, economically, militarily. Again, the nuclear umbrella, America's hat. I never saw it called that before. That's funny. I like the Goldie Hawn thing from Protocol when they're asking her. It was a crazy show, a crazy movie, right? And she saves this diplomat's life or whatever. And as a thank you, the Americans make her the ambassador to God knows where. And Sasha, tell me, this is just going to be like the day from hell. So I'm watching Sasha walk to the door. Okay, hopefully she doesn't have to go out. Okay, good. She's walking to the door, which usually means she's got to go out. And I'm like, don't do this to me too. Oh my God. She's just pissing her off. Yeah, so Layla's going after Sasha again. Jesus. But oh yeah, so Protocol. So they make Goldie Hawn ambassador to some Middle Eastern country or whatever. And she's talking to all these people, and she was just like a regular housewife. And I mean, and Goldie Hawn's characters were always ditzy. She's a ditz. And they ask her, and they say, "Oh, have you traveled outside of the U.S. before?" And she says, "Oh, no, not really. But I did go to Canada, but it doesn't count because it's attached," which I thought was such a great. It was just such a beautiful. It's stuck in my mind. It was a dumb movie, but it's stuck in my mind. Canada, doesn't really count as going abroad because it's attached, and we do think of that as Mexico. We don't think of as that way as much, but Canada, we just think it's attached and it's kind of like us, but it's not. And again, the Canadians obviously do not think they're like us. I suspect, but we think you're like us. But I will say this too. Like my friend Kevin, I remember years ago, I always forgot Kevin was Canadian. I mean, he'd been here 20 years. I think I'd known Kevin for 10, 20. I don't know how long I knew him. And he had said something, that word that, the out or whatever the hell it was. I remember looking at him and going, "Wait, you're Canadian?" He goes, I'm Canadian. I'm like, "Kevin, none of us knew you were Canadian." He was one of our best friends, but it just doesn't come up. Out, except out. Peter Jennings. It's a hard thing for you guys to lose. The same, but again, for us in the Midwest, we have our vowels like O's. Actually, that's kind of funny. And a different kind of O. With you guys, it's out. With us, it's like Wisconsin. The state of Wisconsin, Midwesterners make a very sound. Thank you, Johnny, for the gift. Thank you, Brett, as well. Oh God, I can't do a Canadian accent. I wouldn't know how. I mean, I kind of learned, the thing is, I kind of learned an Alaskan accent, like an Alaskan native accent, which has aspects of native, aspects of Canadian, aspects of very North US. You get to like super North US, like northern Minnesota, maybe even North Dakota, and you start to get like, oh yeah, like talking a little like this, you know. But that can also be kind of Alaskan native a little bit, talking like this. I'm probably not doing it very well because it has been many years now. But the Alaskan natives, there's a little bit like this, and to me, it made me. I was hearing a native accent, but I was hearing a Canadian accent, a northern accent, which I would say Canadian as well. Kind of get in there. You know, what's the Robin Williams quote? Canadian bacon? I don't know it. I mean, I love Canada. I like Canadians. I went finally to, I'm forgetting already. What the hell is your capital? Ottawa. Forgetting. I went to Ottawa for when I was at the evil UN, but I went to Ottawa for several days and really liked it. I thought it was a very pretty city. Very impressed with the parliament. It was around your National Day, which I always forget. Is that 1st of July or 2nd of July or something? I'm forgetting now when it was. Let's right before ours. But they were doing a huge laser light show, July 4th laser light show on the Parliament building. And it was about the history of Canada. Cool. And they were doing a trial run. So we were all invited to come and watch, and sitting outside on this grass of this beautiful building. The Parliament building is gorgeous in Canada. You got to Google it. And projecting this huge, not just a laser show where, you see the building on fire and come crumbling down, like that kind of stuff, but it was the history of Canada. And it was funny because there were also several parts that as an American, I went, oh, like War of 1812 or whatever, which honestly, I had no idea Canada was even involved in. But it was a big deal for Canada. I think it was War of 1812. It was a big deal for them. They were kind of, in the video, they sounded a bit pissed about it, to be honest. I was like, the war with America. And I'm like, I think they listed the war with America. And I went, the war with America? When the hell did that happen? And I was like, oh, you guys were allied with the Brits back then. Okay, whatever. Or maybe even part of them. I don't know. Maybe not even allied back then. And the other thing was claiming that one of the creators, either like Thomas Edison, Alexander Graham Bell, or Marconi, one of them you guys claimed as Canadian. And I went, wait a minute, what? Which one is it? And I'm still not convinced. I should have Googled it, but I remember hearing it and going, wait a minute, where'd they get that from? Thank you, Yak. Which one is it? Bell? Alexander Graham Bell cannot be Canadian. No freaking way. Hold on. Maybe it was Bell, because I remember being like, what? We totally claim him as one of ours. Hold on. Okay, he was born in the UK for starters, so there you go. I guess he was a Scottish-Canadian American inventor. Aha. Scottish-born Canadian-American. That's okay. That's why. Engineer credited with patenting the first telephone. Let me see here. Okay, early years. Born in Edinburgh. Family, deep. Don't care about the brothers. I want to see when he moved, though. Come on, show me when he moved. Education in Edinburgh. Leaving school, Bell traveled to London with his grandfather. Latin and Greek. In 1868, not long before he departed for Canada with his family, Bell completed his matriculation. Experiments with sound. When did the American part come in? Hold on, let's see. Traveling to Boston in, okay, here we go. Right, Canada, 1870. Then 1871, traveling to Boston, returning home to Canada, continued his experiments, spending summers. Okay. Then we started typical American. We started to woo him over. He alternated in 1872 between Boston and Brantford, spending summers in his Canadian home. Swept up by the excitement in Boston. So yeah, so I don't know when he actually became an American. When did he become an American? It's telling us all about the inventions, which is great, but I'm curious about like when he actually became an American. Oh, hang on. Oh, hang on. Oh, Bell was a British subject throughout his early life in Scotland and later in Canada until 1882 when he became a naturalized citizen of the US. In 1950, Canada, cover your ears. In 1915, he characterized his status as, I am not one of those hyphenated Americans who claim allegiance to two countries. Arr! So he claimed he was ours. Bell, despite this declaration, Bell has been proudly claimed as a native son by all three countries, the US, Canada, and the UK. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. Okay. So we weren't so bad. I remember, like, literally, the Canadians just claimed him, and I was going, wait a minute, he's ours. So yes, we all get credit, even if he did kind of denounce you guys. It's like being divorced. You still get to count the first wife because she was your wife at the time. So yes, he divorced you. That's funny. He was a great grandfather of an American friend of yours. Oh, that's wild. Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, I should have. I don't know why. I didn't Google it because I was like sitting, on the grass in Canada at the time. But hello, you. But very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, it was the Canadians who burnt the White House down. No way, was it? Like I said, it was very funny because they literally said the war with America, and I was like, the war with America? When the hell did we go to war? And the way they said it too was kind of like, I was like, I kind of looked around, kind of like, oh God, okay, now I'm feeling kind of embarrassed. We were at war. It was a little weird. And then you stole Alexander Graham Bell. I was like, this is kind of a hostile Canadian show. For Canada, it felt like a very hostile experience. For Canada. Everywhere else, it would be considered pretty mild. That's funny. The Canadians did burn the White House. I always thought it was the Brits. See, you guys get no respect here. We totally were taught it was the Brits who burned the White House down. That's funny. See, I'm telling you, you get no respect in American history. The Canadians did it. That's funny. That's very funny. Wow. Anyway. Oh boy. Where is the other? Shoot, I don't even know where it is. All right. I realized like one of my checkbooks is like, I can't find one of my checkbooks now, which is going to make life fun. I'll deal with that later, I guess. In any case, anyway, Bell stole Tesla's ideas. Oh, now we're going to get into all that stuff. Okay. All right. Anyway, guys. All right. I think I'm going to call it quits shortly now that we've had our Canadian history lesson. From nukes to Alexander Graham Bell to the War of 1812. So remember, tomorrow we've got our show for the paid subscribers as a thank you. So that'll be 10:30 a.m. Chicago time, 11:30 a.m. Washington, D.C. or New York City time. I mean, it's okay. I'm fine. Tomorrow's show is pretty easy. Tomorrow's show is a hangout anyway, so it's fine. It's just, if anything, the evening shows have been difficult because like all day I'm stuck doing something else and then trying to catch up on my work so I can brief you guys. And it's worked, but it's been hard. But I also don't want to stop doing this. I mean, this is my A, important, and B, income. This is my job. So I can't stop doing my job, but it also is important. So no auction. No, because all the auction stuff is in DC. Yeah, exactly. The auction stuff is in DC because I thought I was only coming for 3 weeks. So, Ukraine, I don't know. There's nothing going on today, particularly in Ukraine. Lately, the Russians are trying to take back the land the Ukrainians took. Not clear if they're doing too well. Beyond that, the Russians are slowly advancing in the east. It's slow, but they are advancing, which is not good news, but it's slow, which is better news. Other than that, I don't know. Well, that's where that is. Okay. Anyway. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off. Let's talk tomorrow. Like I said, join me tomorrow for anybody who's a paid subscriber. So folks with SNN next to your name on TikTok and YouTube, the green people. I know my hair has grown out a little. I'm going to get it cut when I go back to DC, but the problem is my dog's hair has grown out too, and she needs a haircut badly. But I'm not sure. I'm going to have to find somebody here to do it, which is going to be a pain. But what do you do? What do you do? All right, guys. But yes, I'm going to sign off. See a bunch of you tomorrow. Otherwise, we'll be back Monday. All right. Every night, Monday to Friday, 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Chicago. We do the show covering U.S. politics, the elections, and Ukraine. So we will be back. All right. All right. Thanks, guys. I may let it go. The problem is it needs to be like it's misbehaving. It looks good, but it's misbehaving. Like it because being Greek, like my hair is thick. It just like I have to like keep it down. Otherwise, it needs a cut. It needs a cut. All right, guys. I'm going to sign off now that we've talked about hair. All right. Have a good night. Thank you, Carrie. All right. You guys